Hello, everybody. It's Michelle here with Angel Souls. We're going to be getting into this week's angelic message. And the way to get the most out of these readings is to take a deep breath. Obviously, don't listen to this if you're driving, or don't do this while you're driving, right? But close your eyes. Yeah, we have to say that. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in. People often find it very helpful because we're physical beings to do a physical action. So putting your hand over your heart, two hands over your heart, whatever you want to do, breathing into that space. Allow yourself to set the ego consciousness aside for a moment. That does not equate to you setting aside your critical thinking or your discernment, but it does help you experience the message, which is the most effective way to take in an angelic message. If your ego gets involved, it's going to try to rationalize everything. It's going to try to make everything fit into a nice, neat little story. Pardon me. And you're going to miss the point, okay? Now, I do, even myself, want to tune in this week and see what's next. What's going on? So as of the recording of this, these are actually timeless, but as I am recording this, we have LA on fire. It is getting bigger, curiouser. Is that a word? There's just a lot going on. We keep getting these sort of seemingly misplaced winter storms. Lots of things are going on around the world. I mean, just on and on and on. And what I'm seeing is there is a big awakening going on, but it's not this beautiful sunshine and rainbows, now everybody is okay kind of awakening. The jealousy is going to be at an all-time high. Watch for people being competitive with you. The diminishment of you will be at an all-time high. Be ready for that. There will be people who are absolutely refusing to step outside of their delusional bubble. They're refusing. They want to sit where it is comfortable, where it is familiar. They do not care. I'm going to use this deck here in a second, so let's put that aside. They do not care to have to stretch beyond what they've always known. Okay. Think of people who just have always stayed in their protective little bubble. They've never really challenged themselves, and, you know, they think they know everything, but you're listening to them going, that's not the world, man. Have you stepped out into the world? That's not what's going on, right? So we're going to tune in here. Let's see what you need to know so you can take this as a personal message. What is going on in the collective, how we can come on through. Now, if you do want to work with me, I can fit in live sessions, and I should use this opportunity. Someone keeps emailing me and saying that they don't have their reading, but they're giving no information. It's not even the same email address. So I'm not sure. I'm not doing anything with that. If you have not gotten your reading, first of all, check the terms. There is a wait time. Or check the email address that you used. I know that sounds so stupid, but like, people literally will submit their reading request with an email address and then not check that email address later. They just keep coming, I never got it. Please go look at the address that you use. Thank you. angelsouls444.com. If you want to get a standard reading, live sessions, if you want to book one of those, email me at angelsouls444@gmail.com. And just so you know, the live sessions are $130 per 30 minutes. That's what they are. The standard readings are $95. Okay, so I have people reaching out. They think it's like some big mystery about how much the readings cost. It's not. Okay, so I hope that's clarifying things. All right, so Knight of Gabriel. This is where a lot of us are getting into. This is the mode. Okay, we're trying to take charge of our own destiny. We're trying to manifest. People are going to be missing the mark in a great big way. I can't talk. In a great big way. People are going to be missing the mark because a lot of people are still in that shallow kind of ego state. So confident, enthusiastic, courageous, charismatic. Time to take action, great passion for a cause, instinctively knowing just what to do. This is part of people waking up, and we're going to see what the other cards have to say here. But to me, this indicates fighting back, becoming a warrior. So we'll have to see what that means. we have the wheel. Now, the wheel is a very positive card. We have the number 10. The 10 is the number of completion. Okay. So almost every single year, one of the most popular energy portals where I get a lot of reading requests would be the 1010 energy portal, because this is where things actually start to end. Like in your physical world, you lose that job, someone breaks up with you, you lose a friend. These are all things that had to happen because they were terrible for you, but people are still afraid of that change. And so, they always want the heads up. What's going to be happening there? So we have the 10 here. Something is coming to an end, but it's because it has to. This also has Archangel Jeremiah on the card. So when Jeremiah shows up in a reading, this is about stopping, evaluating, again, being willing to let go of the things that have to go and not torturing yourself anymore. Or if something's really, I don't know, there's just so much brainwashing going on in this world, especially when it comes to classes. Okay. So if you, as most of you probably are, if you're in the working class, there's this brainwashing that you are supposed to put up with any and all kinds of treatment. This is normal. How dare you set a boundary? How dare you be upset about this? You're not a team player. You're entitled, just because you're like, hey, I'm a human being and this is taking a toll on me, right? Or I'm being overworked. I don't even have a chance to let my nervous system regulate before something else is being thrown at me, right? So a lot of us experience that. And I want to do a special shout out to factory workers. I grew up in a family that was filled with factory workers. I heard the stories. I saw the hard work, the control. Like you have to ask permission to be sick. Some of you work in other environments where it's like you have to ask permission to be sick. I can't imagine having to, like, if you're not feeling well, you have to go pay for a doctor's appointment to get a doctor's note to show them and prove to them that you were sick. That level of control, that's this. This is where we are not taking it anymore. So make sure you're out there being fair. If you're someone who's in charge, let's say you're one of those factory owners, yeah, you better find a good little park for people, okay? You better start being reasonable. All right, Jeremiah is all about life review and looking, like I said, at what's not working, at what needs to come to an end because something new needs to come in, all right? New beginnings, end of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. So if something occurs when you're watching this video, like somebody walks out of your life or a job is coming to an end, don't fret. Don't fret at all. There was a time when in my career, I was working in the corporate world, and dang, it seemed like every time I took a job, it was like a year to 2 years and the boss was leaving. Either they got fired or they decided to take a life direction that took them elsewhere. One of the bosses that I had, it took a while for him to end up leaving, but he did. I think he was asked to leave. But it was kind of weird. And I got the reputation for being kind of like the Black Widow. So anytime I ended up taking a job with someone, they're like, oh no, am I going to lose my job? Well, if you're an idiot, yeah, you're going to lose your job. But you're going to lose your job whether I'm there or not, right? So this could be that kind of situation where someone exiting actually is helping you in a big way. Maybe it is that toxic boss that's finally leaving. Or maybe it's a toxic coworker who finally gets fired. They finally get theirs and they're getting out, okay? Or some of you, this is a relationship. Oh, I am fascinated by attachment styles right now. And I am a nerd and I read everything. So I'm gonna be reading lots of books on that. But I think that's a fascinating thing to look into and explore, maybe to understand yourself a little bit better. Just putting that out there. Okay. Well, fast moving stuff. It's the Chariot. Was at number 7. So archangels are helping to clear the way so that you can come on through. Now, if you have been exceptionally struggling the past several years, you're working really hard, but you're not getting compensated. That was kind of the case with Angel Souls. I mean, I was constantly I've never missed a weekly upload. It might vary on what day that gets uploaded, but I've never missed it in over 11 years. And people are like, yes, you have. No, I haven't. You just weren't paying attention. I know when I upload. I know these things because I'm doing it. So there were times where I felt like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm showing up, putting all these hours into it, and I'm not getting paid for it, and I have to pay my bills. So, this could be that kind of thing where it's like, okay, I'm going to push through and I'm going to reevaluate. I'm not going to be, not that I felt taken advantage of with Angel Souls. I'm the one that creates this content. I'm the one who chose to keep showing up. But I'm saying in other, I'm going to call it livelihood situations. Even if this is like I'm volunteering for something because it has good connections. Well, maybe those connections aren't really panning out and helping you in any way, and it's just siphoning off of you. This is where, again, a lot of volunteering, a lot of those things where it's like, I thought I would be in here doing good for the community, but really you just see that it's super corrupt. That could be the kind of thing that's going away. So I'm not trying to be taking good cards. Did I just smear my lipstick? I just bumped okay, whatever. If I look like crazy, I can't see. My eyeballs are old. Hi. Anyway, we're back. Okay. So I don't mean to take really positive cards and put a negative connotation on them, but I just want you to understand the types of things that could be clearing away, and it works very much in your favor. So this is the Chariot. We have Archangel Metatron. So Metatron is all about your intuition, sacred geometry, sacred mathematics, all right? And really Akashic records. So really being in tune with your path here. So there's a reset going on here. If maybe there's been energy interference. Maybe there's somebody who's super entitled and they are thinking they have access to you at any time that they feel like it. They can come and take your energy, help themselves to your energy. Ooh, that's going to come back on them pretty quickly, but that's going away. You're realigning strongly on your path. All right, determination and self-control. Career advancement, there it is, acknowledgement of success by others. So again, this isn't like an egotistical, that's right, I just think I'm super important and nobody understands my vibes. Nobody understands my importance. Go home. Go home. Okay? You're annoying. This ain't for you. Okay? This is more for people who you've kind of suffered in silence. And I want to take this moment to give a special shout out to everybody who has been through the worst of the worst. Especially, I got to be careful with what I say here, but especially if you have been affected in the way that the sacral chakra oversees. Okay, you see what I'm saying? And if you, I'm sorry, this is just popping up in my head. I was just watching social media. I do that. Okay. And someone had left a comment on someone else's video because they had come out and said that something had happened to them. And they said, you're not attractive enough to have someone do that to you. And not to bring this down, but that was a punch in my gut because that's all I've ever experienced. Not all I've ever experienced, but like I've had so many of those types of situations in my life since I was a very young child. And one of the things that made me leave corporate America was that sort of situation that would have to do with the sacral chakra. That sort of situation was happening from a couple of different people in the company that I worked in. But people thought I wasn't attractive enough for those types to even waste the time on me. That's how they saw it. That's how sick this world is. That's how sick this world is. And not understanding the manipulation, the control, all the things. That could be a very, very deep conversation. So what I'm getting at here is that there's a breakthrough, and I'm giving a special shout out to people where you've tried to go and get help and people don't believe you. I'm here with you. I feel you. This is your time. And all those people who are listening to this and thinking like, yeah, but I'm more deserving just because I am who I am. They're in for a huge and rude awakening. Now, we don't want to revel in that. But we're taking our power back. And you're going to rejuvenate. And you're going to figure out why it was so important for you to hang on. Okay? We're going to get this card out Four of Ariel, when you give, you also receive. Being resistant to change, so be careful and aware of that this week, especially around money matters, okay? Extremes in how you save or spend money. So this might be like, hey, I'm afraid to go ahead and take that new job opportunity. Is that focusing? What if it doesn't pan out and it hurts me financially? Understandable, but just be careful of like missing an opportunity out of fear, right? Missing an opportunity because you think it's too, well, do be careful of things that are too good to be true, still be discerning, but don't be afraid to leave like a toxic work environment for something better just because you're used to the toxic environment, just because it's more familiar. All right, so I'm going to pull a card from the Archangel Michael deck. Michael is all about protection, courage, clarity. We're getting a lot of clarity coming through. Archangel Michael, it says, ask Archangel Michael to help you with this situation. Archangel Michael, thank you for assisting me with, and you describe the situation. Please help me be filled with faith and peace at all times. So there's some stuff going on, and what it feels like is there's like a reckoning, right? And it's like people who've never been in power are starting to have power. Hopefully they don't abuse that, but it's also, it's the underdog. It's the underdog having a comeback, and people who are used to having things just handed to them are not going to like that. And they're going to be like, why do you deserve it? You're a nobody. You come from the wrong side of the tracks. Blah, 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 blah. This turnabout is unexpected. And it's quick. And you don't see it coming either. Okay? So be ready. Just make sure that you're not allowing your fear to get in the way. Be balanced. Be discerning. And we're going to leave it there. Again, angelsouls444.com if you want to work with me and get a standard reading. Email me at angelsouls444@gmail.com for live sessions. We're going to leave it there. I'm sending you all so much love and take care.